afternoon. My name is Christine Turo-Shields, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker coming to you from my Kenosis Counseling Office. On behalf of St. Barnabas Catholic Church and Seeds of Faith, I have the opportunity to talk to you and share another mental health moment. Today I want to talk about post-traumatic growth. Now, that's not a term most are familiar with. We certainly know that there's a condition called post-traumatic stress disorder, but most of us don't think about growth in terms of trauma. But actually, if you think about in our own Catholic tradition, Good Friday brings about Easter Sunday, the joy. Suffering brings about great good. And that's really the foundational information presented in research about post-traumatic growth. And post-traumatic growth really has 5 manifestations that I think are so applicable today in these pandemic times. So I want to share those with you. The first manifestation is that we come away from a tough situation with a greater appreciation for life in general. Now, we actually know that some in our St. Barnabas community have actually really struggled with COVID-19 and even from a health perspective. And so some people just truly value being alive. That sense of appreciation for life is really strong. That sense of being able to go outside and enjoy the greenery, or to be able to take a deep breath and feel it down into their lungs, right? There's that greater appreciation for life, for the sounds of birds, for the touch of a loved one. You know, with this social distancing, we've become so physically disconnected. And so holding somebody's hand, or actually having a hug, or just someone by your side during a tough time. And again, that can be from somebody fighting for their life and all the way to just a sense of struggle and disconnection. So that's the first one. Increased appreciation for life in general, and I'd like you to think about that in your own life. The second manifestation is that we come out of a tough situation with changed priorities. Realizing what's really important. And again, in these pandemic times and with social distancing, and for some people needing to be quarantined and being with their nuclear family, recognizing that family dinners are a priority. Time together is just a wonderful experience. I know families that have had renewed game nights and just watching movies together and putting puzzles together. Again, a shift in priorities of what is really important. The kindness that shows up. Mr. Rogers tells us, look for the kindness when times are tough. And so we also have, with the changed priorities, people, working on the front lines, knowing that life and death is the most important. And people showing up at schools and giving out food and serving the poor, right? The priorities shift. We realize that a lot of the conveniences that we enjoy in our middle class community fall away. They're not so important. Especially those of us who haven't had the opportunity to physically go to church and receive the sacraments, recognizing how critically important that is for us. The third manifestation is having more meaningful interpersonal relationships. I've talked to so many individuals that have not only stayed connected and grown closer to their families, but also reconnected with friends and loved ones, and now are doing Zoom meetings. In my own life, I found out that one of my best friends from elementary school, her dad passed away during this time. And so we reconnected, and then as a result of that, we pulled in some other friends, and now 5 of us are doing Zoom sessions. And it was during that connection, during that opportunity to connect, that we've come together. And I recognized how much I cherish those childhood relationships. And And those are not friends that am physically close to. They all live in Pennsylvania. So I have the opportunity to stay connected to them, which has been a blessing. The next manifestation is just an increased sense of personal strength. So many people are facing hard times right now, whether it be overexhaustion from working on the front lines, whether you're working on the front lines medically or in grocery stores or other essential work. And some people are dealing with tough times of not having the opportunity to work. And this increased sense of personal strength is, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. And that can be an awareness that not everybody really knew about themselves, right? Some people have this sense of, I can't get through. And yet when they do, it's this renewed internal sense of, I can do this. And that's critical and that's important. That's really representative of a sense of resilience, which also carries us through tough times. And then the last manifestation is having a richer sense of your spiritual and existential life. You know, what I find in tough times is that some people pull away from faith, but for many people, you know, our faith is the one thing that grounds us and centers us. It becomes that, you know, due north, where the compass always points. And more people are praying fervently and coming together and doing that in a solitary way and also in a community way as they can. So, again, I would encourage you to think about post-traumatic growth and how it has shown up in your life and in what ways you are manifesting it and sharing that with friends and community and family and the world. So many blessings to you, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care. Goodbye.